Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S Abroad. Thank you very much for everyone joining today. Really do appreciate you. I appreciate the fact that you always come to our live sessions, you always show up. Really do appreciate. And today is not going to be different. Today we are going to be having a wonderful session talking about a lot of things that are happening in Canada. So if you want to be part of this live session, you can, of course, just try to send an invite or send, you understand, a request, and I'm going to actually invite you on board to be part of this live session. So thank you so much. As the title of the live session states, Canada to invite new Canadian immigrants this week, not next week, not any other week, but this week. And why do we say that? Is because just like what it is stated on the Canadian immigration website, it states that based on the ministerial instruction, respecting invitations to apply for permanent residence under the express entry. Oh, someone is saying we can't hear you. How about now? Can you hear me? Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me now? So we are actually on how will I call it? We are on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube. So some people are having issues with hearing me on Instagram. Okay, no, this is wrong. This is not good. Let me see how I could work on that audio on Instagram. iPhone, no, it's the Android. So loud and clear. Okay, Mr. Positive, thank you very much. On TikTok, he says he's hearing me loud and clear. But on Instagram, I'm afraid they can't hear me. So maybe you should go off Instagram and join us on TikTok, or join us on or YouTube if not hearing. So if you are not hearing us, you can please join us on TikTok or join us on YouTube. And I think that's where we are on multiple platforms. We're always trying as our possible best to actually come on live on various platforms. So if you cannot hear me very well on Instagram, you can go on TikTok, you can go on YouTube whilst we are working on that of the Instagram. Do you understand? So we are working on that to try our possible best to. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know, because it's showing that it's not. It's okay here. So if you can hear me, let me know. If I'm audible, let me know. If like on the other platforms, on TikTok, we know that yes, everybody is hearing clearly on TikTok. So I appreciate that. But on TikTok, on Instagram and YouTube, if you can't hear me, just let us know, and you can go on other platforms. We are on other platforms right now, live. You understand? Having this conversation, even on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, you would see that we have a slide. You understand? There's a slide on because of course that allows us to do that. We can't do that. You understand? We can't do that here. We can't do that on other platforms. So you can see the slides that we have. We went on the Canadian immigration website, and from that website, we are actually talking about, you understand, the topic for today. So based on what we said based on the ministerial instructions respecting invitations to apply for permanent residence, do you understand, under the express entry, um, I would read out what they said. And this is something that you can always check out yourself when you just click on express entry invitations on, you understand, Google. You can, you understand, check it yourself and see how it is actually working, or see how, do you understand, basically the concept works. We said based on IRCC states we rank express entry candidates in the pool under the points based system. Do you understand? Called the Comprehensive Ranking System, CRS. And this is very important. The next sentence they stated is that about every 2 weeks, we invite the top candidates in the pool to apply for permanent residence during rounds of invitation. Now, many of you could have known this before. Some of you may be new to this. You understand? But again, it actually calls for understanding and explanation. You understand? Understanding and explanation, because some people are saying, yes, there are changes in Canada. Yes, Canada is changing a lot of things. Yes, people are not focusing on Canada again. Yes, this thing, this, that, this. But I am here to tell you that, yes, there are some changes that are happening. No doubt about that. Do you understand? There are some programs that are being paused. There are some programs that are being closed. Do you understand? There are some policies that are not favoring some set of travelers or immigrants. But for those that are wise and for those that really still want to come to Canada and want to give you their best shot ever, this timing, which timing am I talking about? This timing of the year, Canada is still going to be inviting people. And don't take it from me, take it from what the statistics state, take it from what we are seeing, you understand, on a 2 weeks basis. Because they had stated this already on their website. And I was thinking that with the changes, with the, you understand, changes in policies, with the different closures of programs and everything, I was thinking this clause on the express entry website will change. You understand? I was thinking it will change, but it is still there, just like it has been there for a couple of years now, that about every 2 weeks we invite the top candidates in the pool to apply for permanent residence during rounds of invitation. Why are we focused on this clause? Why we are focused on this clause is that it still remains true. Do you understand? The table below lists all the express entry rounds of invitation. You understand? And you can search, filter, and sort, which we are going to do today. Literally, we are going to sort out, we are going to filter the information by any of the fields to see for yourself that is Canada immigration really done for? Do we not need to focus on Canada immigration again? Or do we still need to give it our level best to actually immigrate to Canada? Are people still being invited? Is there still opportunity out there for people to come to Canada? Do you understand? Now, one thing they still want us to focus on the CRS website or on the Canadian immigration website of the Express Entry is that the CRS has changed over time. Yes, we know it has changed over time. And change, see, people, I do tell people, don't fear change. Don't fear change. Change is always going to happen. So don't fear it. Rather, the change that happens, always ask yourself, how can you benefit from that change? Always ask yourself, what do you need to do? You understand? To be someone that will benefit from the change that is happening. Do you understand? Okay, Julia Warren, you said, hey, hi, how you doing? How's everything? This is a live session. So if you want to ask questions or give any comments, you can also put it down, you understand, on the comment section. Hi, Julia Warren. Now, change is always happening, as I said. Do you understand? So you have to look what is changing and how can that change affect you? Because of course, once changes happen, it is going to affect some set of people. And if it affects some set of people, the next thing you need to know or the next thing you need to be thinking is how can you make that change benefit you? That's why we're having this session today. How can you make sure that the change that is happening is not going to be against you, but it is going to be what? For you. Hi, I see some love emojis. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate that. If IRCC states that about every two weeks, IRCC are still inviting the top candidates in the pool to apply for what? Permanent residence during the round of invitation. That means that some people will still be invited, whether you like it or not. Some people, in fact, I think it was last week. Yeah, last week, one of our what they call it, Canada immigration partners, she actually came to Canada together with our entire family. She was invited through what? Through the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. Thank you, Olayinka. I see Olayinka is giving us a lot of emojis. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. is on TikTok. So if you are also on TikTok, thank you. You can also drop some emojis, even on YouTube, on Instagram. We'll really appreciate the support as well. So why are we saying this? Why we are saying this is because some people are silently getting invited. Some people are silently, you understand, working on their immigration. But you see that these are these same people that will be saying outside that Canada is not inviting people, this thing is happening, there's no opportunity. But at the end of the day, you see that it is these same people that are working on their immigration silently. So you now have to be wise. If you want to come, it's not by force. As we always say, nothing is by force in this world. You coming to Canada is not by force. If you don't want to come to Canada, we are not talking about you now. We are talking about people that want to come to Canada. Do you understand? People that are not just saying it by the word of mouth, but want to take action to actually come to Canada. Thank you, Olayinka. I really see the emojis. Really appreciate that. Now, what are we saying? Let's go back on the Canadian immigration website. They say the CRS score, which is the cumulative ranking system score, has changed over time. And you can check which version of the ministerial instruction respecting the express entry was enforced on the day a given round was held to see on what basis candidates were ranked, you understand, for invitation. Now, I'm not going to focus on those specifics, but what I want to focus on today is that when we entered the new year, January 7, 2025, and January 8, 2025, there were two draws that were conducted by what? By IRCC. Now, those two draws, if you look at it specifically, they focused on two programs: the Provincial Nominee Program and the Canadian Experience Class Program. Now, those two programs, they are based on what? The Hold Express Entry, the Hold Express Entry, what do you call it? Subcategories. So that's to tell you that even the Hold categories are getting selected. Do you understand? So the fact that, you feel Canada is not more picking people. People are saying that, yes, with the immigration or with the, what do you call it? Some people say with the upcoming election. Some people say all those things have still not stopped Canada from inviting. The only thing that have changed is the way they are inviting people. Do you understand? I see, what do you call it? A share. Thank you very much. I see some people shared my link, Godly Empire. Thank you very much for sharing the link. Now, the only way that we see some changes in Canada immigration, you understand, programs or pathways, is that the kinds of people they are inviting are slightly different. Do you understand? The frequency of their invitation remains the same, especially for the 2 weeks. And we are expecting that this week we will see that, you understand, actually resonate with us. Because just like they wrote on their website, we didn't state this ourselves. They wrote it on their website that what? Every 2 weeks, about, just like we are always following the Canada immigration, you understand, news. We were expecting that they will say that, okay, they are not going to be inviting people every 2 weeks again. Do you understand? We were thinking that they will post it. But with the changes, and I think for the meantime now, a lot of changes have died down. A lot of policies, a lot of you understand, modifications to IRCC's immigration programs have died down now. Do you understand? Many people or many programs have been left now. They are not really touching anything right now. Okay, Debbie O Life, thank you. Yup, he said yes. So they are not really changing things now. They changed it before we came into the new year, and you understand, shortly when we started the new year, there were a lot of changes. And we were thinking, just like I said before, that this clause on their website is going to change. But they have not changed it. And what that is telling us, that you should be expecting this week another selection, either one selection or two selections, just like we saw in the early part of the year. Do you understand? Now, if you look at that, what they are trying to tell us, because based on the statistics, we saw that Tuesday, 7th of January 2025, the draw that was actually conducted was the draw for which sector of people? It was the draw of provincial nominee programs. Do you understand? That was the first draw that was selected Tuesday, 7th January 2025. Now, after Tuesday, 7th January 25, the next rounds of invitation we actually saw is that of what? Is that of Canadian experience class. I know if many people, just like many people always tell me that, oh, I'm not in Canada, oh, I don't have the opportunity to study in Canada, or I can't afford everything, that kind of thing. Any which way, the major thing is if you are not in Canada, you still have the opportunity to come to Canada through other pathways, through other programs. Do you understand? Now, what are we trying to say in essence? We have tackled the timing. The timing is still the same, right? We have tackled that one and we have convinced you through the use of the details on the Canadian immigration website that they are still what? They are still selecting people. It is not stopping. Do you understand? The only thing is the criteria of selection now slightly differs. It is not everybody, it's not every Kokubul and Harry. You understand? They are picking. Now, let's now do some analysis together. Since we said the people they are focusing on, do you understand, have changed slightly, then how can you now make sure that you are part of the people that will get selected? Now, number one, I'm going to start with the first set of people, the first program that we'll focus on, which is the Canadian Experience Class. I won't dive so much into it, but let's pick the Canadian Experience Class and talk about them. And I'll filter, just like we were informed that the CRS has changed over time. So the people they are picking, they have changed slightly. So let's now look for those under the Canadian Experience Class. That means those that are either students, those that are temporary foreign workers, you understand? Those that are under the graduate work permit. Do you understand? If you're under any of those pathways, then just like we have seen in the past, we see that they have been selecting people above the 500 mark. Now, just like what they said people, they select the top ranking candidates. And many people, let's be frank, many people can get, oh, Messi, thank you very much. I see you like it, the what they call it, the live session. Many people can get this 500 marks. But if you are in Canada, if you studied in Canada, if you are currently working in Canada, you understand the ranges right from August 14, 2024 to January 8, 2025. You understand? The ranges of people they have been inviting are people from 509 to 500 and what? 547. Do you understand? From 500 and not to 509, 507 to 547. So if you want to get invited and you're in Canada already, do you understand? If you're in Canada already, then and you have studied in Canada or you have worked in Canada, you have your years of work experience, then you can actually make use of that opportunity to actually come into Canada as what? To come into Canada as a permanent resident under the Canadian Experience Class. Do you understand? Program. Now, those are for the people that are in Canada. Many people we always talk to, there are people that are not in Canada. We understand. There are people that they don't have that opportunity to actually spend on cost of accommodation, or cost of how will I call it now? Cost of schooling. They don't have that opportunity. Okay, Debbie, whole life, thank you. Said Canada is a great country on TikTok. Yes, Canada is a great country, and a lot of countries are great. A lot of countries are places that you really love to be. Now, let's now look at the second category of program, the provincial nominee program. Mind you, we talked about the two programs that were selected this year. We talked about the Canadian Experience Class, and we showed you that if you have CRS scores from 507 to 547, you understand, you stand a fair chance for those that are in Canada already. Now, if you are not in Canada already, or you don't even have that point, that amount of 500 or above 500 points, and you are still in Canada and still want to get selected, based on the people that they are selecting, based on the invitations that they have actually given, from September 9, 2024 to what? To January 7, 2025. If your CRS points are within the range of 705, do you understand? And 816. That is after you have gotten your what? Your provincial nomination from a province, whether the province of Ontario, the province of Saskatchewan, the province of Quebec. Some people may be wondering that, oh, I don't even have 500 and how will I now be able to get 705 or 816? Now, within any of those ranges, whether 705 to 816, that is for those that have gotten nominated. And that is one of the things I'll talk about in details today. Okay, Messi said, I am nurse from Nigeria. I wish to know the process. Yes, this is the process we are talking about here. We are talking about the process of you being able to immigrate to Canada as permanent resident, either alone or together with your family. Either, for instance, you are with your spouse, you and your spouse alone are coming, or if you, your spouse, and your kid, you understand, are coming on amounts of children, several amounts of children are coming. Now, let's look at it. The provincial nominee program is the way I came into Canada. Do you understand? Is the way I was opportune to get selected by what? By the IRCC to come into Canada. And how did I do it? I didn't just focus on express entry. Some people always want to focus solely on express entry. And I'll tell you, in fact, what I did then to come into Canada was two things. Or were two, is it two or three? It was three things, not even two things. It was three because I didn't want to put myself on chance. Oh, Messi, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate that. I didn't just want to give, you understand, opportunity to not get selected. I wanted to spread my tentacles and make sure that any which way the nomination comes, any which way the selection comes, any which way the invitation comes, I will have a fair chance to actually immigrate. Thank you, Olanika, for the likes as well. Really appreciate that. Messi on TikTok. Now, what did I do differently? What I did was, one, I created an express entry profile. But I knew that the people that they were selecting, just like I've showed you, the people they were selecting on express entry, as at then too, was over 500, over 700. And I knew that I didn't have that chance. Do you understand? So I didn't really focus on, I created the express entry profile, but I now looked at other provinces that I can go and apply to. And when I apply to them, if they now give me selection, if they invite me, I will stand a fair chance to now come and compete under the what? Under the CRS of the express entry at a later date after I have gotten their nomination certificate. And as a result of that, as I then 2022, that time when I started, I applied or I created expression of interest, because application is different from expression of interest. Expression of interest profiles is just like express entry profiles, and those are free to create. You don't actually pay for creating it. Do you understand? Okay, thank you very much. I see Peter wants to actually join us live on Instagram. If you're able to join, let us know. We would really appreciate that. So I didn't just want to put all my eggs in one basket into just the express entry, right? So what I did was, firstly, I created an express entry profile, you understand, under the Canadian permanent residence for federal government. But I now went to the provincial government. The clients, for instance, or the partner that I told you that we work with, you understand, in Nigeria that got selected and actually immigrated to Canada this year, early this year, you understand, she had the opportunity to actually immigrate herself and her entire family through what we know as the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. This year, she entered Canada this year. Do you understand? So as a result of that, I too, when I was trying to come, I applied under Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, which is known as the SINP, the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. That was the first program I applied to. And if you go on your Google and you just click on, or you just write Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, it's going to give you the website of Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program. You'll be able to check it, see all the qualifications, all the requirements, and it's fairly easy. It's one of the easiest provincial nominee programs out there. Do you understand? To actually apply to, and you understand, to create a profile under their expression of interest. You understand? Now, that was the first PNP, provincial nominee program, I actually created an expression of interest for. The second program was because I had already created an express entry profile, I was also able to create a Prince Edward Island immigrant nominee program expression of interest as at then. Do you understand? And you being able to create that would allow not just you to focus on Saskatchewan alone, but to also try to get selected through Prince Edward Island. I remember vividly in the year 2022 when I first applied for Prince Edward Island. I applied like in January or February or so that time, and they did a draw around that time as well. I was also selected, but I had the quota. I had the quota of, you understand, the quota of points, because all these provincial nominee programs too, they work based on what? On a point system. They also have a point system just like Express Entry. Their own point systems are different. You understand? Because for Saskatchewan, I remember if you have 60, that's the minimum for you to be able to create an expression of interest. But many a times, even last year, they didn't pick people that are just 60. Do you understand? You need to have 70s, 80s to actually get selected. But Prince Edward Island that time, when I actually created the profile, they were still accepting like 67, 65, 66. You understand? They were still accepting it. And as at then, I remember vividly, I had like 68. And they did a draw of 67. So I was now wondering that I just had 1 point. I got above their cutoff with 1 point. Why did I get selected? Because again, the kind of people, the occupations, the professionals they were actually selecting, I was not in those occupations. And this is very important. I do tell people that when you are working on your immigration to Canada, don't just say, oh, I have this point, I am qualified. No, look in depthly, because it was the mistake I made. Look in depthly to see that which kind of, you can go on their website. Prince Edward Island also has its own website. When you go to pei.gov.ng, I say NG, sorry, not NGO, it's not Canada, it's not Nigeria. But if you PEI, there's one pei.gov or something. Is this the CA? I think so. When you go on their website, or you just even type it on Google, once you type it on Google, you see Prince Edward Island Provincial Nominee Program. Once you type it on Google, it's going to bring it out for you. Do you understand? So that time, I now had to look back that who were the people that they were selecting, the categories of people they were selecting, who were they? Do you understand? I went on Ontario, I checked it. I went on Prince Edward Island, I checked it. I now kind of said, okay, which experience do I have in terms of the skills, the occupations, the educational credentials I have to be able to say that yes, I have practiced in these fields that they are actually requiring. And I remember that time when I first applied into some of the express entry profiles and the provincial nominee expression of interest profiles, I was saying I was a language teacher. And yes, it's not that I was lying. I was truly a language teacher, full time. Do you understand? But I had forgotten, or I had not looked at my tech skills, my tech experience. And the people they were selecting, part of the people they were selecting were people in IT occupations, STEM occupations, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics occupations. So what I did basically was now to look that, okay, at least I have did my company website as at that time. I have also assisted some companies in Nigeria to also work on their website. I have managed website, even though it was more like, you understand, a gig kind of thing, but it's something that I did permanently as well, full time. So it was something I said, oh, that means I had experience that I could actually leverage on, even though I didn't complete or I didn't finish a bachelor's in computer science. That time I studied linguistics. You understand? So it was kind of practical for me that, okay, because I studied linguistics, I should say I, you understand, had experience as a language teacher, which I was doing, you understand, full time then as well. But due to what the provinces were selecting at that time, I needed to look in depthly, to look inwardly, to see other experiences that I had. Because in Nigeria, we know ourselves now. Many of us, we do a lot of things. So people that own businesses, you see them. In fact, that time when I was in Canada, in Nigeria, I knew I was a shoemaker too. I was a shoemaker. I was making shoes. I was making bags. But because of course, that time they were not looking for shoemakers in Canada. So I didn't focus on that experience. But many of us have a lot of things. Some of the things you have, some of the experiences you have for Canada or immigration will be a benefit rather than a loss to you. You understand? Because if you are working on maybe like language teaching as I was working and they didn't select you, you can quickly move and use another work experience to actually apply. And that was exactly what I did. Do you understand? Now, another program that I applied to, which I also want you to also take cognizance of, you understand, in this session is the what? The Quebec Skilled Worker Program. The Quebec Regular Skilled Worker Program. In fact, a lot of people, I see a lot of people shying away from this program. Don't shy away from it because again, for those that have been joining my live sessions, you know that is it last week or upper week, I talked about Quebec reopening its 3 pilot programs for skilled workers. And one of the skilled workers is for you to be in the artificial intelligence, you understand, field. That means for you to be under IT, under artificial intelligence and data science, just like you understand I am in currently. So if you want to get selected, you can focus on the old subcategories of express entry. Just like we have seen that they have selected the Canadian experience class and they have selected the provincial nominee program, you understand, candidates. But again, I want us to check on the immigration website again. I want us to check on the express entry website that is it only those ones you can apply to? And the truth about it is, no, it's not only the provincial nominee programs, it's not only the Canadian experience class you can apply to. The Quebec Skilled Worker Program I talked about is a program you can apply to. Do you understand? Under the ARIMA portal. And for those that know right now, you know that all other provinces in Canada, they will be focusing on, or they are always selecting people through the express entry or selecting people through their own provincial nominee programs. But Quebec is a province of its own. It does its own immigration differently. It doesn't rely on any other province. Do you understand? So you can go on the ARIMA portal. Once you just type it on Google, Quebec ARIMA portal, Quebec Regular Skilled Worker Program. You are going to also see the regulations, the requirements, and you understand the qualifications. So that one too, I remember that time. I told you I applied to Saskatchewan, I applied to Prince Edward Island. I also applied to what? To Quebec Skilled Worker Immigration Pilot Program. Do you understand? I also applied because I wanted to give myself the opportunity to, you understand, work on different things. I didn't just focus on express entry. I didn't just focus on provincial nominee programs. I also focused on the Quebec Skilled Worker Program so that if they don't pick me under express entry, at least I can still be picked under provincial nominee programs. If they don't pick me under provincial nominee program, they can still pick me under Quebec Skilled Worker Program. I'm talking about when I was actually working on my own immigration. Do you understand? As at 2022. Now, that time, funny enough, I wasn't picked under the federal government express entry because it was too competitive. The 500 points, the 700 points, I didn't have up to 500, I didn't have up to 700 points as at that time. But funny enough, because I had an express entry profile, the Ontario government actually saw me in the pool. Do you understand? And they selected me under their own provincial nominee program. Do you understand? Because I had also added on my express entry profile, I had also clicked the part where they said, do you want Ontario to know about your immigration? And that's the way. The Ontario doesn't have a separate PNP expression of interest you can create. They go into the express entry profiles. You understand the pool. They go into the pool and they pick candidates they want to actually come into their own province. So that was how I got selected because I ticked. Let's say I didn't tick the on the profile when they were stating that do you want Ontario to also see you in the express entry pool? I wouldn't have that opportunity. Let's say I didn't think, do you want British Columbia to also see you in the express entry pool? You understand? I may not have had the opportunity to get selected, even though, yes, of course, British Columbia didn't select me. But what am I trying to say in essence? I have seen some clients, some candidates, some applicants that will reach out to me and they will say, oh, I'm not being selected. And I'll ask them, okay, how many provinces did you apply to? How many provinces? Mercy, thank you very much for sharing the live. Really appreciate. Other people also, you can share the live and let more people get educated about what we are saying. How many provinces did you actually apply to? How many provinces did you allow to see your what? To see your expression of interest or your express entry profiles? Okay, Motokia, thank you very much for also liking the like many people don't, you understand, they, I've seen a lot of people that they have express entry profiles, but they didn't click those provinces to see the application. If I didn't click Ontario, in fact, I may not have been selected to today. I may not have been selected. So you have to be tactical. Some people will give agents their application to do, and the agent, because it's work, he doesn't know all these things, will just apply or will just create a profile in a nilly-willy situation, or you understand, manner, in a nilly-willy manner, and at the end of the day, you will be wondering why you not getting selected, because they are not seeing you. You are not visible to the provinces. So if you have an express entry profile, go into the profile. Did you click on all the provinces when they asked you where would you like to migrate to? You have to click all the what? All the provinces. Thank you, Motoke, for sharing this live. Really appreciate you. Click and apply to all the provinces so that you give yourself the chance of being seen by provinces, by territories, you understand, by different um territories in Canada and provinces in Canada. So they will not have any opportunity than to just look at your own profile too, as they are looking at all other people's profile in the poll. Do you understand? Now, when me I was working on my immigration, we didn't have this last type of program I want to talk about now. And this program, in fact, it is a game changer. It is a game changer. Believe me, you. Why? Why is it a game changer? Because Canada itself, they have told us from last year that they will be focusing on this program this year. And I predict that this week we have, they would also pick some people from this program. So you have to look at yourself and you have to determine, do you really want to get selected in this program or through this program? Do you really have what it takes to get selected in this program? And what's the program? The program, beautifully, is not even part of provincial nominee programs. It's not part of Quebec skilled worker program, but it is part of what we know as the what? The express entry program. It is another set of the express entry program, another category or another program under the express entry program, which is what? The category based selections. The category based selections. Some people don't even already know the category based selection. Some people have never heard of it before. Some people haven't heard of it, they don't even understand that they stand a fair chance of getting invited under the what? Under the category based selections. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to educate you what are the, because there are three types of rounds of invitations that Canada did last year and they will do this year, because they have told us they will focus on it. So based on what they said, if they don't change it and we don't see anything changing right now, because it's part of the things they require in Canada, that means we should be expecting, you understand, this week and even subsequent months. So if you don't have the opportunity to get selected this week, you don't have your documentation ready this week, you don't have what it takes to actually be part of those that they will invite this week, you still have that opportunity next couple of months time. Do you understand? Or because they have told us that they are always selecting people every two weeks, right? So that means every two weeks you should be creating your own profiles. You should be getting your profiles being boosted so that you have the opportunity to actually get selected as at, you understand, every 2 weeks interval or within 2 weeks interval. Now we have talked about the general rounds of invitation that, of course, they have paused that one because the top ranking candidate of all the PMPs, of all the programs, the general rounds, they have stopped that one since last year. But we have the program specific rounds of invitation, which was the PMP we talked about that they were selecting. The next rounds of invitation that they are selecting right now, or they will be selecting starting from this week, we hope, we pray, we are really expecting it, is the category based rounds of invitation. And what are the category-based rounds of invitation? They said the minister has established what? A category to meet a specific economic goal. So they didn't just create the categories nilly-willy way. They didn't just create it to just play around. They created it to fix a problem. Do you understand? Now, they are going to be inviting the top ranking candidates in the pool who are eligible for these categories. If I was you, because me, I didn't have the opportunity when I was applying, but you now have the opportunity when you are applying. If I am you, I will be focusing on these categories. Because that time, me, I had to crack my brain. I had to go to each province and to see, okay, this province, which people do they need? I went to present other land. I saw, okay, they needed construction workers, they needed healthcare workers, they needed, you understand, manufacturing. I went to Saskatchewan. I saw, okay, this also needed healthcare, they needed early childhood education, and I didn't have some of them. But now, Canada is giving you in a platter of gold. They are giving you the categories they expect people to actually focus on. They are giving you the categories that they are currently looking for. How sweet can this be already? You understand? They are giving you what you need to be adhering to in terms of what qualifications and eligibility. If I were you, all I would just now do is now to look, okay, how can I get experience in this niche if I don't have already? And if I have, how can I be qualified for this category? Now, what are these categories? They said you must be eligible for at least one of the three programs managed under through the what express entry to be placed in the pool. Now, they said find out how category-based rounds of invitation work. How do they work? Let's go into them one by one. What is even category-based selection? We have said it that it is a selection that is based on what the minister has identified, an economic goal. And the economic goal are based on three principles. They are based on three criteria. What are the three criteria? The three criteria that we are talking about today under the category-based selections are: one, ability to communicate in a specific official language. That's the number one category. Two, work experience in a specific occupation. And three, education. As I do always tell people, these are the things, you know, it's sometimes when I have clarity calls, when I have consultation sessions, when I have live sessions like this, and people start asking jargons, or people start talking about nonsense, and I will just keep telling them, you have the three things they have told you. Canada have told you focus on three things, but you are saying no, you have another fourth thing you want to focus on. You have another fifth thing. Some people will tell me, how can I get job in Canada? Is it that you want to get job and work for 1 or 2 years and leave Canada after your work? Or is it that you want to come here and stay here permanently? 90% of the time, they will always tell me they want to stay here permanently. Okay, you want to stay here permanently. You're not focusing on something that will just allow you to stay here 1 or 2 years. You will not come to Canada. At the end of the day, they will not tell you that, okay, oh, your contract has expired. Oh, okay, you have to leave Canada. You will not be fighting or you'll be doing protests. Or at the end of the day, you'll be complaining that Canada, with all the things that you do, with how you work and everything, you came for work. You did not come for permanent residence. People like us that didn't come for work, that we came for permanent residence, they did not disturb us. Why did they not disturb us? Because we have the what? We have the PR card. We have the permanent resident status. So if you want to also come here and stay here permanently, focus on permanent residence. That's why you won't see the name. I don't know why some people. So it's common. This is common sense. They call something permanent residence. Permanent residence. You are focusing on temporary residence. Temporary residence is three. Abi, three things: visitor visa, study permit, work permit. And most of those things on your permit, on your visitor visa, they will tell you, okay, you have the opportunity to stay here for 6 months. They will tell you, do you have the opportunity to stay here for 1 year? They will take 2 years. It is always specified. It is only permanent residents that will tell you, come in, enter with single entry. But after single entry, you have the opportunity to leave Canada, enter Canada, stay in Canada definitely, even become a citizen. As a temporary resident, they don't born you well. They don't born you well, you can't become citizen. It's not fight. It's just the rule and regulations. So if you know the rules, you want to abide by the laws of Canada, understand what they are looking for. And as at now, they are looking for people that have the ability to communicate in a specific official language. If you don't have that, they are looking for people that have work experience in a specific occupation. You don't have that, at least have education in some sectors. Now, what are those sectors? Let's look at them. As at last year, the current categories they were focusing on were French language proficiency. So if you can speak French, number one, that's number one. And I want you to note the order that that thing came in. The first thing that they will focus on majorly is that number one. Majorly French language proficiency. If you don't know French, and that is where we come in as a language school registered in Canada and even in Nigeria. If you want to actually learn French, if you want to prepare for internationally recognized examinations like TEF Canada, like TCF Canada, like DELF and DALF, then we can actually support you to actually learn French and to prepare for those language exams. And we have had series of people who have shared in the past that have excelled in those exams through our trainings and our online courses. French language proficiency. Some people say, okay, I cannot speak French. Oh. In fact, I don't have time to learn French. Oh. In fact, no problem. See, there's no fight in this life. There's no fight. That's why even the government of Canada have given you options. They have given you options. You have options to choose from. It's not compulsory that you say, okay, don't. It's a must to, you must speak French. No, they did not say that. Canada is a bilingual community. Is a bilingual country. You can speak English and you can speak French. So they cannot mandate that don't, you must only be able to speak French. No, they can't mandate it. I always talk about my common law partner when this kind of situation comes. My common law partner only speaks English. Even the French self, she's struggling to speak it, and no fight. Where we are not speaking English. We are not speaking French. Where we are, it's not compulsory for her to interact in French. So no issues. Do you understand? No issues. Okay, Olayinka is asking, how do we contact you? Okay, thank you very much for that. If you want to contact me, as we always say, you can go on our profile. The profile, whether be it on WhatsApp, I say WhatsApp, whether be it on TikTok, whether be it on Instagram or YouTube, we have our links there. Just go on the links and click on any of the links that, whether you want to have a consultation with us or you want to actually ask questions or anything you want to do, you understand, go there. But I'll also post the link here. You can go on our link, aos.name.ng. All our information are there. Do you understand? You can go on the website, aos.name.ng, to actually learn more and be able to contact us. If you want to contact us or have a live session, do you understand? Have a consultation session. Do you understand? The consultation session link also has been shared on the contact, or rather on the comment section. The comment section. So you can always go there as well. And if you want to talk to me personally, just go to that seller website. We have dropped the seller link, seller.co/Aziz-Ola-Shuderu. You understand? And you can also book a live session with me personally to actually learn more and to discuss about some of these things. Now, moving on. I hope everyone. Okay, I'll put it on LinkedIn as well, and I'll put it on what am I saying LinkedIn? I'll put it on Instagram and I'll put it on YouTube as well. The question was asked on TikTok so that everybody would have access and you'll be able to actually reach out to us. You understand? Later on, even after this live session. So I'll say the link again for our website. Our website is aos.name.ng/PR if you want to learn about permanent residency that we are talking about today. Do you understand? And if you want to have a live session, you understand, have a consultation with me, you can also go on the website seller.co, you understand, /Aziz-Ola-Shuderu. So I've put it on the comment section. You don't need to bother about memorizing that. You can just always use that to actually book and to discuss with us. So number one, moving on, we have talked about French language proficiency, as I've said extensively. French language proficiency, as the name implies, is just for those that can speak French. It's just for those that want to learn French. It's for those that have the desire to actually be a French speaker or are already even French speakers. Okay, you have the desire to speak French, no problem. Start to learn French. Okay, you can already speak French, no problem. Um, what do you call it? Apply through that um category. But you don't have any of it, no problem. Look at all other things that you can actually qualify for. What are the other things you can qualify for? Number one, out of the occupations that Canada are looking for, out of the experiences Canada are looking for, the number one is healthcare. And in fact, they have categories. The first one being the French language proficiency. The second thing after the French language category is the healthcare occupations. And please, again, focus on that category. If you are in that occupation, congratulations. If you are an healthcare practitioner, félicitations, as the French will say it, because like they are needing you in Canada. You are needed in Canada. In fact, they cannot do without you in Canada. Is that serious? So you have to now look at how you can get the documentations. And what are the documentations? Yes, you have to be licensed to practice some categories or some occupations rather in the category. You can't say you are a physician or you are a family doctor and you don't have an education to back that up, right? Yes. But again, for those that are wise, you can be a caregiver and not necessarily need to go and study a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a PhD or anything of those DDT and rubbish to be a caregiver. A simple online course that you do, a simple experience in that field can actually confer you with what? With that status of being a caregiver. Because again, mind you, we have said it times without number in these live sessions that Canada has stated that there is going to be an enhanced caregiver program this year that they are going to launch. So you can strategically be preparing for that category. You can strategically be preparing for that program because that program, as they stated, is going to be a permanent program and it's going to not just be a pilot that would make you come into Canada temporarily, but as soon as you're entering Canada, you would be a permanent resident just like us. Do you understand? Why? Because note again, before, caregivers that came into Canada, they have to become work permit holders for 2 years. They have to work for 2 years before they transition to permanent residence. But this enhanced caregiver program they want to start this year, no, as soon as you are coming in, you are getting your permanent resident status. So if you are wise, if you really want to come into Canada, how well are you making sure that you have what it takes to actually be selected as a caregiver when that time arises? Because Canada has given us Orijo, they have given us Expo. They have given us Expo. What is the Expo? The Expo is that this year they are also focusing on the second category, which is healthcare occupations. My people, hope you are enjoying this. If you are enjoying this, put your best emoji on the comment section. If you are enjoying this, let me know that I am talking. Let me know that you like Yorubas will say it pé ẹ̀ ń dè pé you are getting all what we are saying. Do you understand, my people? Now, if you are not in the healthcare, because we know everybody cannot do healthcare, it's normal. Canada too are human beings. They understand that if everybody is doctor, who will now do other roles? Who will now do other things? They know. That's why they say if you don't have that healthcare experience or you don't even have that desire, because I've seen some people that normally they have that experience or they have that Okay, Motoke, thank you. She has the thumbs up for us there. Thank you very much. Some people, Canada is not doing such. Yes, Canada is not doing. I don't know what you mean by Canada is not doing such, but maybe if you can elaborate, would really learn from you. Now, what we are saying is that some people don't have the desire to be in healthcare occupations, and it's understandable. It's not everybody that would be a physician. It's not everybody that will have the opportunity, do you understand, to become a practitioner, a healthcare practitioner. It's understandable. The next thing we now have to look at is, okay, which other occupations does Canada really want to select? Which other occupations does Canada really want to be in Canada? Okay, I'm having Jess is saying description says Canada invites new immigrants. Yes, yes, that's the description, just like we stated it. Yes. So how about that? Canada is not doing such. Okay, what are they not doing? Because I think we are talking based on what we are seeing online. So it's, and with what we are seeing on their website, which we have also shared, that you can also check out. It states that Canada just invited people on the 7th of January and 7th and 8th of January 2025. So is it that Canada is lying, or is you that you are not informed well about what Canada is actually doing? If you want to actually learn more, just you can type it on Google, Canada invitations 2025. You'll see it, or Canada Express Entry invitations 2025. You'll see it. It's on their website. It has been put there, and we have had people that got selected. As I said before, we had our client, Mrs. Aishat. You understand, that got selected. Though she didn't get selected on the federal government, you understand, but she got selected through the provincial nominee programs, which was under the what? Under the Saskatchewan, Manitoba provincial nominee program. So which one are you talking about? Express entry invitation for PR is mainly for Canada experience class. Please, when you are talking, please talk with certainty in terms of your knowledge. Do you understand? It's not mainly for Canada experience class. I think I've shown people um, the Canadian immigration website. It says is maybe you have to tell me Canada is lying. They selected two categories on the 7th of January 2025 and on the 8th of January 2025, which you can also check out. They selected Canadian experience class first. The next people they selected were provincial nominee program candidates. After that, they also selected, just like I said, the Manitoba province. The province of Manitoba also selected one of our clients under their own provincial nominee program to actually come into Canada. So it is not only mainly Canadian experience class. Please be informed. Check their website and you see. Just go on Canada.ca or you go on Google, check the express entry invitations, and you will see that they are selecting people. And just like we said, just like what IRCC stated late last year, that they will be focusing on three categories. That's where we are now. That's the thing we are talking about now. They are focusing on three categories. The three categories, the first one we talked about was French language proficiency. They have not started selecting people this year, but they have been selecting people right from last year, which we are talking about now. Just says provincial nominee and all priorities people already in Canada. I'm not disputing that fact, but that does not see. That is why information, it's important you decipher and you understand the information. They stated that they are focusing on people in Canada. They are prioritizing people in Canada. That does not mean that they are not going to be selecting people outside of Canada. I've given you instances of some of our clients that is in Canada, that is in Nigeria, that also got selected this January 9. She got selected. Mrs. Haisha, for instance, she got selected January 9. You understand, to actually come into Canada under the Manitoba Immigrant Nominee Program. So it is not only people in Canada that they are prioritizing. If they say they are prioritizing people in Canada, that does not, they didn't say they will not even select anybody outside of Canada. They didn't say that. And that's why I said the what they call it, the qualifications, the eligibility criteria is still the same. The only thing is that they are focusing on some sets of people, and those are the categories we are talking about now. I know more about it than you probably, lol. The probability is lower. That's all what I'm saying. Okay, it seems just like you said, you say you know more about it. So then I don't really need to be talking much about that again. Since you know more about it, Kudos to you then. Now, moving on, we are talking about the categories that they are selecting under express entry. The first category, which we talked about, is the French language proficiency, right? We talked about the French language proficiency. That was the first thing we talked about. The second category we talked about is the healthcare occupations. Just like we stated that Canada are still going to be inviting people under the health because they need them. They need them. So whether you are in Canada or you are outside of Canada, do you understand? The truth about it is you still have the opportunity to come into Canada, you understand, as an healthcare professional. And as I was saying, it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory for you to what? For you to be in the healthcare occupations. Do you understand? It's not also compulsory for you to what? For you to speak French. They gave 6 categories, 6 current categories under the rounds of what invitations that they are selecting on their immigration website, the CA Canada.ca. And these are things you can also check out yourself. Once you just put it on Google and you put category-based invitations Canada, you are going to see these things. Everything me I say, you can check it yourself. So if I'm lying, you will see. If I'm saying the truth, you will see. There's no issues about that. Do you understand? Just be informed. That's one of the reasons why we're having these live sessions. Be informed. Don't let people tell you things, cock and bull story outside, and at the end of the day, you are going to be delimiting yourself or limiting yourself because of what other people say. Do you understand? Don't just do hearsay. That's why I give you references. I give you links for those that are under the what they call it now, YouTube. The YouTube live session we are actually currently on. You will see the link. You can click on the link that I'm putting on the comment sections and just go on it and check it yourself. You understand? The fact that some people are already Canadians or already in Canada and they came in through students, that I'm seeing some people saying on the comment section, that does not mean you cannot come. You know, one thing I've found out about people that are in Canada is that once their ones are sorted, once they are in Canada, once they are permanent residents or it happened to me. Let me tell you the truth. There were some of my uncles, some of my even family members. It's as bad as that. It's as bad as that. Family members self that you feel that yes, they are in Canada, they can assist you. When it comes to Canada, when it comes to them talking about Canada to you, all what they will be telling you majorly, mainly every time is how you don't need to come to Canada. Is how you cannot come to Canada. How Canada is so difficult to enter. How nobody's saying it is all roses, or nobody is saying that you coming to Canada is you understand is all like once you just come or you just apply, you get selected immediately. Nobody is saying that you are in Nigeria today, tomorrow you can be in Canada. No, we are not saying that. But majorly, I found out that many people that are in this country, they don't always want immigrants to come into this country. But when you ask them, how did they come into the country? At the end of the day, you see that them too, they were immigrants. So you don't want people to come into the country again, but you are still in the country. You weren't born in the country, you came into the country as well. Do you understand? You immigrated into. So why are you now going to deter other people? Why are you going to limit other people from also coming into this country? You understand? You are enjoying the country. If you are not enjoying it, you will not be in the country now. You are enjoying the perks, the benefits of the country. That is why you are still in the country. If you are not in the country, we have seen a lot of people that japada, as the Nigerians will say it. They came and they left. But you will see that many of the people that are complaining about Canada in Canada, they are still in Canada. They are still enjoying the social benefits, still enjoying what the country has to offer. But these are the same people that will be complaining about people that are coming into the country. You see see the irony, see the oxymoron. You or yourself, you are an immigrant. You are an immigrant, but you are deterring people from coming into the country because you are telling Canada is not accepting people. This thing is difficult. But again, we have seen people. I'm in a lot of groups, a lot of immigrant groups. I see people getting this thing. So why will people on my own, you understand, on my own social media platform not know that they are selecting people? This year, January 9th, 2025, Mrs. Aisha, she is doing it. It's not that she's even paying me. That's another thing. Because some people say, okay, maybe it's because they are paying you. She's a DIY client. She did her immigration herself. She's a DIY. She do it. The package she paid for, or the concept she's doing is DIY. She's not paying me anything for it. It's DIY. The only thing I taught her was IELTS training. Do you understand? But she's doing her immigration herself. And they selected her under Manitoba Immigration Nominee Program. So if someone is getting selected, why would I not tell other people to also apply and get selected? I am in the country, I am enjoying the country, the benefit of the country, I'm seeing it. So why would I not? Even my family members self, my family members, I am telling them to apply. My brother is learning French because of this thing. Some people don't understand this thing. My brother is learning French because of this thing. My own family members. Because I want them to also leave the country of Nigeria, come into Canada and enjoy themselves. You understand? Have fun. Nobody is saying that any country is perfect. Canada is not perfect. It's not heaven. It's not heaven. But the truth is, it's better than some places. That is my own. See, that is my own stance. My own stance is Canada is not heaven. Nigeria is not heaven. US is not heaven. In fact, Saudi Arabia for the Muslims is not heaven. Israel for the Christians is not heaven. Where other place again that people are always going to? Germany is not heaven. UK is not heaven. Where again? Where again? Tell me, France is not heaven. Which other country are people also going to that? Italy is not heaven. Other countries are not heaven. But I know the problems I faced in Nigeria. I know the nepotism, the favoritism. I know the democratic, you understand, corruption that were in the country. And that is why I wanted to leave. I not force anybody to come. See, anything I'm saying in this space is not by force. Abi, you did not see me old came. Even if I old came, say, I cannot flog you online. I cannot flog you. You understand? I can't force you to, because at the end of the day, the immigration I'm talking about, now you go do it yourself. You will do it yourself. It is not me that will do it for you. Do you understand? But let people know the truth. Let people know what they stand to gain by coming to a first world country. Nigeria is a third world. Even the name itself, I've said it. Even the status they give us as say, they say Giant of Africa, but they still put third world country behind it. So why would you not want to leave a third world when you are in the third place and come to the first place country? This is his first position country. It's very, very analytical, very understandable. Hmm? Oh, see, don't mind some people, Jerry. Okay, so Abike Ade was asking that what are the requirements for this program? We have talked about the three basic requirements, and I'm repeating it because those are what Canada are looking for. The three basic requirements is your education. Are you educated? Do you have ND, OND, HND, BSc, BA, BSc, MEC, ND, HND, PhD, not just DDD. Anything that you have, even though, as I do always say, my common law partner, she had just WAEC. She had just WAEC, secondary school certificate. And she came into Canada. So if you know how to do it, which I will also put on our website, if you know how to do it, if you go on our website, you can also get educated on how, with what you have right now, you can also immigrate. Do you understand? With what you have. Sometimes some people have a lot of things, but they don't know that what they have already is enough. And they are still fighting to get other things. What you may have may be enough for you to come to Canada, and you may not need to focus on any other thing. So for more information, just go on our website and I will put it on the link again, A.O.S on the comments section again. Just go on aos.name.ng/PR and you learn in detail about the qualifications. I said education is the first thing. You have to send your credentials to Canada for them to evaluate it. Your work experience is the second thing. The more experience you have, the better. Do you understand? But at least for these categories that we are talking about, it says 6 months of experience at least is what you need. But the more, the better. The third thing that you need is what? Is the language proficiency. Take either English or French exam. Some people say, is IELTS important? Is it compulsory? I do tell people, IELTS is not compulsory for immigration. Do you understand? But you need to show your English proficiency. So if you don't want to take IELTS general training, and CELPIP is there. If you don't want to take CELPIP general training, PTE core, Persian test of English core exam is there, which all of them will train people for it. So if you want to get trained on either IELTS general, you want to get trained on CELPIP general training, you want to get trained on PTE core training. Do you understand? Any of it, we can also train you at A.O.S abroad to actually learn You understand? And just go to our website, aos.name.ng, to actually enroll for your class. Now, moving on, we were talking about the categories. We talked about the healthcare occupations, the healthcare categories. That's the other category that they're selecting. Another category that they're selecting is science, tech, engineering, and mathematics occupations. That was what selected me. That was what brought me into Canada. Though I didn't get selected under the category based rounds of invitation, but I got selected under what? Under the provincial nominee program as a STEM occupant. I say occupant or a STEM professional, not occupant. STEM professional, right? Now, that one, STEM occupations, they said they were pausing the application, they were pausing the selections. You understand? But the next occupations that they're actually selecting is what we know as the trades occupations, right? The trades occupation or trade occupations. These are professionals that are what? Professionals that are like oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, as Yoruba will say it. People that work with their hands. Do you understand? Like plumbers, like mechanics, like who again safe, like welders, like all those sets of people, you know them already. You understand? Those are part of people that they are selecting. And the beauty of it is, even these federal government categories of Canada that they are selecting for immigrants, when you check some or most of the what, most of the provinces, you will see that they are also selecting people like that. Do you understand? So if you know these categories and you position yourself in one of these categories based on your experience, you stand a fair chance not only in the federal government jobs, but also in the provincial nominee program jobs or the Quebec skilled worker immigration you understand, programs. Now, another occupation is the transport occupation. They paused this occupation as well. They paused this category as well as at last year, late last year. You understand? But you also stand a fair chance if they actually open it this year as well. So you can get prepared on it. And lastly, the last occupation or category is the agriculture and agri-food occupations. These are people that they are selecting that are actually, whether be it the supervisors in the agricultural sector, the planters, the rearers, you understand, people that are in charge of agri and agri-food processing. Do you understand? Whether you are working in the processing factories, the industries, you understand, you also stand a fair chance if they actually, because they paused this category as well, if they renew and reopen it, you also stand a fair chance if you have started actually working towards your what, towards your eligibility, right, eligibility criteria right from now. So what are we saying in essence today? What we are saying in essence is that make hay while the sun shines. Basically, what we are saying in essence today is don't wait until when, okay, people are not saying it's all far and wide that okay, Canada has now started inviting people, just like some people are already discouraging people. Me, I see opportunities where some people see difficulties. I see a chance of greatness, a chance of, you understand, success, where some people see threats and limitations. So if you are part of the people that also see, as I see, the opportunities that are available, not people that will see the difficulties, you understand, the challenges that are available, then I invite you, whether I invite you and you accept or I invite you and you not accept, it doesn't do me anything. At least me, I'm already in Canada. It's the truth. But I invite you, don't be pessimistic, rather always be optimistic. Do you understand? Many things that happen in life, if you are not optimistic and you are working towards something, if you are not optimistic, I asked people when we first started this year that what is their New Year resolutions? What are their New Year resolutions? Many people said a lot of things. But at the end of the day, I realized this, that who amongst us always achieve our New Year resolutions? They are not people that are pessimistic. They are not people that are always seeing challenges. They are not people that would always see obstructions. People that would actually achieve their New Year resolutions are people that what? That see opportunities where people don't see it. They are people that actually work towards their success where people don't see it. There are people that would always become better individuals. There will be better immigrants. And you know the funny thing is, Some people are complaining there are no jobs in Canada. There are no jobs in Canada. Because that's even that thing some people complain about. But we have some people that are already in Canada, or some people that are even outside of Canada, like one of our clients I talked about recently. You understand? Mr. Yusuf, he is in Nigeria, but he's working on his immigration and he doesn't want to just come in. And because he said, imagine, see how some people are thinking. Some people are thinking, some people, that's when I see that we are not equal. Some people are wise, and some people are just the other way. I should not say it. They are just the other way. You understand? He is thinking entrepreneurial. He is thinking like someone that sees opportunity and says, oh, okay, there are no jobs in Canada. I want to employ people. There are no jobs in Canada. I can actually start up something. And he is still in Nigeria, but he has set up a business in Canada legally, where he is now currently seeking clients to actually work with. One. Two, he is now true, because of course we talked about our book, my book particularly, which I wrote, Funding Your Move Abroad, which you can get on Amazon, you can get on Seller.co, and that book is selling. Is actually a bestseller right now. You understand? And he was saying that, oh, he learned a lot from the book, and he wants to actually start making money in Canada, just like I am also making money. You understand? He wants to start making money in Canada, and even now later on, use that money he's making in Canada to actually work on his immigration while he is still in Nigeria. I don't know how some people always like, some people, the way they think, you just know that yes, this person is different from the average people. See how some people are looking at limitations and opportunities. See how some people are looking at, oh, just like how some people be complaining, there are no jobs in Canada, there are no jobs in Canada. Everybody, as we say, cannot be an immigrant. I mean, cannot be um a what they call it, an entrepreneur. We understand. And that's why we say, if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, at least, you understand, be willing to work for those that are entrepreneurs, no problem. And not just want the money, but be willing to work, and you understand, work diligently to actually get the money you want. No problem. But some people are already thinking, they're having the foresight. He was telling me that, okay, when he's coming to Canada, he just doesn't want to just come and be doing nothing, because he has seen a lot of videos where people will say that, okay, yes, you can come to Canada today, you may not get jobs for 2 months, for 3 months. So he says he wants to start actually building something in Canada right now, so that when he comes to Canada, it will be easier for him and his family to acclimatize with the society. It will be easier for him to actually set up a living and be able to live off what he is making in his business in Canada without any issues. And see how some people are thinking, see how some people are analyzing, see how some people are not allowing the obstacles, the limitations, the obstructions, the oh, you're gonna go kill me. See how some people are thinking outside the box. To me, in fact, if I had been able to think like that, say maybe my life could have been much more better than how it is in Canada now, even though I know yes it's better than how it was in Nigeria. But see how some people are thinking that they want to start making money in Canada, earning in dollars, to be able to use it to fund their own immigration, because some people will be complaining, I don't have money, I cannot do immigration, this thing, this, that. Why some people are actively working towards actually achieving their dreams. Some people are actively working towards, now someone that has started a business in Canada, someone that has started, you understand, getting clients. His first client, he was able to get it last week. His first client, he was able to get his first client last week. You understand? And we have talked about this concept about funding your move abroad. We have talked about it extensively with a lot of people. We have, you understand, I wrote a book about it, how to actually make money. You understand, how to plan well your immigration, and how to now use the money you make to now immigrate. Some people are already actively using it in our community. Some people they are not just talking. Some people are already looking in the book, taking the nugget of wisdom from the book and actually implementing it in their own what? In their own travel lives. In their own what? In their own journeys to immigration, in their own journeys to Canada. So how are you two? How are you two not just complaining that yes, so I don't have money, oh, yes, so this thing, oh, it's not easy, oh, Canada, there's no job, oh. How are you also starting up something where you are? You understand? Or starting up something up. And this life, this Canada, in fact, not even this, not only Canada alone, the world entirely has changed. The world has changed. You understand? You don't need to be thinking like someone that was born in the 20th century or 19th century or 18th century or even 15th century itself. Don't be limited in your thinking. Don't be limited. Some people are already thinking how they can make a life worth living. You understand? And enjoy themselves when they come into Canada and not nag. You understand? Many people, you will find out what they are saying online. It reflects their own mentality. It reflects their own limitations. It reflects their own ill thinkings. It reflects their own wrong thoughts. You understand? Many people that are online now, when they are talking, you just see that this person's, you understand, either the person is a backbiter or the person is, you understand, as the Muslims will say, the people that have the evil eye, or people that, you understand, that they will not see the good in things, rather they will see the limitations. They will not see the good in things, rather they will see that, oh, Canada, the policy is changing, people are not going to Canada, this thing is happening, everything is the bad, bad news sells. Maybe now that bad news it sells. So people will not see the good news. It's not the good news they will spread because they know bad news sells. It's not the bad news they will be sharing. It's the bad news. That's why many of the live sessions I do, how many shares do we always see? You understand? Thanks to all those like Motocare, Messi, and other people that are sharing. You understand my live session. Why will many people not see my live session? It's because it's not is good news. You understand? It's not bad news, because bad news sells more than good news. It's the truth. Bad news sells more than good news. So that's why many people will not read, or they will not listen to what I have to say, because this one is the normal good news. They always say the normal good news. Let's hear bad news. Even people that are coming online, many of them, ask them, what do they want to hear? It's the bad news they want to hear. It's not the good news. The good news, we are saying that Canada is still inviting. The good news that we are saying that yes, our clients are still getting invited. The good news that we are saying that some people are already starting businesses in Canada without being in Canada. Some people will not hear that one. Some people will still say, it's a lie, it's not possible. Because that's another thing we have. All those pessimists, all those that don't believe things, all those doubters, those are what they will have in their head. It's a lie. The guy just is bobo. Is bobo is giving us bobotic bobo. That's what it's giving us. You understand? But some people will be intentional to say, okay, yes, so truthfully, let me analyze what this guy is saying. Let me see what he's saying. Is it legit? Let me look into the facts and the figures he's giving. Is it true? Let me look into what he's trying to say. Is what he's trying to say, does it make sense? Is that what is truly happening in Canada? Some people will not analyze themselves. It is what other people say. They will just be thinking. It's what other people say, they will believe. And that's why I don't just tell you things. I give you the references. You can go and check it yourself. If I'm lying, you will know. If I'm sweet coating it, you will know. You understand? But one thing I've realized, that many people that accept what I say, many people that are willing to hear me, they won't talk too much. You will see them at the end of the day, they'll just book consultation session. So if you want to book consultation session, go on my link. Sometimes people just book consultation session. Like, okay, it seems I like what this guy is saying. Let me just book consultation session and hear what he will say again. Some people just pay for our package. Some people just say, this guy, I like his success stories. I want to be part of it. That's what some people just say, okay, let me just book a consultation session with him. Let me hear what he says. Let me go on his website. That reminds me, if you want to go on our website, aos.name.ng, you understand, /PR. That is if you want to learn about PR. If, for instance, you say, okay, no, you just want to quickly go on to our online course, you want to take our packages, you understand, sign up for those, you can go on our website directly, our online school website. You can go on our online school website, and that is ftc.aosacademy.com. Or you can even just go on aosacademy.com. If you go on aosacademy.com, you will see everything you want to see. You understand? We have a lot of websites, don't mind. Especially those that are in Nigeria, we have our website there too. those that are in Canada, you understand, or not only Canada, other places, anywhere you are, you understand, you can just visit uh, a language school. If you visit a language school, you understand, you'll be able to actually get all the details of all what we are saying, and you'll be able to, you understand, you'll be able to actually learn more than even what I'm saying, because we have various webinars we have done in the past, and we have explained in details how you can actually work on this immigration, how you can get the opportunity. For those who cannot actually click on the links, because we know some platforms like TikTok, some platforms will not allow you to click links on the comment section. You can just go on our, you understand, on our profiles. When you go on our profiles, you'll be able to click those links, you understand, and get redirected accordingly. So we have done a lot. I will just sum up all what we are trying to say today. All what we were trying to say today is Canada are inviting people. Canada are still inviting people. Canada would always keep inviting people. You understand? But the question is, are you this kind of people they are inviting? If you are not the kind of people they are inviting, then you don't stand a fair chance. You understand? If you are the kind of people they are inviting, then of course they are going to invite you by God's grace. All you just need to do is to get ready and be actively working towards, yes, I'm coming. Be actively working towards your own immigration, you understand, to Canada. So thank you very much. Do we have any questions before we call it a day? Do we have any questions to ask me? If we have any questions, even after this live session, we always talk about it. You can always drop it in the comment section. You can always as well always join us for subsequent live sessions we always have. As I do always say, anytime we have trending topics, trending, you understand, news, any um breaking news, any updates from the government, anything that relates to not just only immigration, but also travels, personal development, and things like that, would always what do you call it? We would always have a live session and educate you about them. So if after the session you have any questions, join our live session. We have at least one live session per week. Sometimes it can be more. We can have two live sessions, three live sessions. It all depends on how news comes up and how we would like to talk and converse about it. So if you have any questions, you understand, drop it on the comment sections and we'll do justice to them when we get them. And you can visit our website, as we have dropped the last link, aosacademy.com. You can go on that link to actually learn more about what we do. And you can also reach out to me on my seller.co link. I've also shared the seller.co link, which is the link that you can use to book a clarity or what do you call it now? To book a consultation with me, and we can talk. We can talk around. A lot of people want to learn French. A lot of people want to, you understand, prepare for international exams. A lot of people want to even start businesses in Canada. You understand, and in other countries, which of course we also assist people with. A lot of people want to actually, you understand, pivot from their old occupation or their old career to a new one. You understand? A lot of people want to even um publish books, write books, publish books, and sell books like I do. You understand, on Amazon and other platforms. Any which way you want, anything you want to do, you can always book a consultation session with me, and we'll go through all what you want. You understand, and we'll see how we can actually be of assistance to you. So thank you very much once again. I really do appreciate everyone for joining. If we don't have any other questions or clarifications, then put your best emojis, put your best likes, put your best comments. You understand? And don't forget that we are always here to serve you. We're always here to educate you. And if you enjoy it, always join our subsequent live sessions. I do hope to see every one of you in our other live sessions we'll be having. It may be this week, it may be next week, and we would always be coming live to actually talk about pressing issues. So I do hope, and don't forget to share it with your friends, like it, put your best emojis, you understand, comment on the comment section. Don't forget that, and we would really appreciate to actually have your own thoughts on how what we discussed today. We have it recorded on TikTok, you understand, on Instagram, is available on YouTube, so you can always go back and actually check and see all what we discussed and we really hope to actually get every one of you on board later on at a later date. So thank you very much, everyone, once again, and do have a lovely and wonderful week ahead. Bye for now, everyone. Bye bye. Au revoir for my French people.